Local Congressman Dr. Ruiz is going back to Washington for another term. It's going to be his fifth. He joins us now to talk about some of the big developments of the day, and there are a lot of them. Congressman, thank you for being with us.
It's good to be here.
Okay, the U.S. has reported more than 100,000 COVID cases a day for the past 5 days. Today, big news from drug company Pfizer that early data shows its vaccine may be more than 90% effective. In your view, as a doctor and a congressman, is this a potential game changer?
This is a very big potential game changer. So the next steps is to make sure that that information is made transparent, that academics as well as physicians throughout our country can look at them and make the assessment themselves and to determine whether it's good for their patients. The next step is to massively produce this vaccine and to ensure that the distribution happens in a public health approach so that those who need them most get them first.
Okay, today President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris were talking about that very thing. They were meeting virtually with their newly formed coronavirus task force. They're starting the transition, even as the White House says it's not over till it's over. So, two questions on this. Will their plan work? And what will happen if the president doesn't cooperate at some point?
Well, I think that it would be wise for President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris to get their task force formed and start the transition. I'm very encouraged in the fact that they have made it their #1 priority, and they have people there that are committed to science and evidence-based, and that they will take this virus very seriously in the coming months. In terms of whether or not the president is going to abide by it or not, I mean, President Trump is the president until January 20th, when President-elect Biden is inaugurated and swears an oath to our Constitution and assumes the role of the presidency. It's very wise to have everything in place so that on day one they get things started in the right way, so that we can put an end to this pandemic as quickly and safely as possible in our nation.
Unemployment remains high here in Riverside County, still double digits in September. Will Congress be able to make a deal on a coronavirus relief package in this lame duck session that we're not going to be in?
Well, you know, I'm encouraged by the sudden post-election epiphany that Senator Mitch McConnell has now, once again saying he wants to cut a deal and resume efforts in getting the aid. The House has been steadfast since the HEROES Act passed, since the HEROES 2.0 Act passed, in ensuring that we get the aid for our states and local governments to make sure we get another round of stimulus checks, that we extend the unemployment rate and add additional support for our small businesses and our schools and public health systems, so that we can open and keep them open while containing the virus and protecting lives. So I am cautiously optimistic, I've been urgently fighting for more stimulus aid since back in May when we passed the HEROES Act.
Yeah, Democrats, though, started at more than $3 trillion, and then there was talk of a deal around $2 trillion, but Republicans in the Senate have been closer to maybe $1 trillion or less. So where does it end up falling?
I have no idea, but what I do know is that there are certain criteria that we need to meet. One is we need another stimulus check for American families. Two is we need to extend the unemployment insurance in a way that is meaningful for our families. Three is that we need to provide support for our states and local cities like Palm Springs, Cathedral City, and others that have taken a major hit during this pandemic. And we also need to help our schools so that they can find the right way to get school students back to school, and to help our small businesses keep their doors open and get our workers back to work and keep those doors open so that we don't have to be shutting down.
I'm going to squeeze in one more question. The new administration is going to be hiring a lot of prominent Democrats, also a Senate seat now available in California, so we got to get you on the record. What are your plans going forward? Do you have any interest in either of those things?
You know, I am really focused on making sure that we get the aid we need to our district for the pandemic, to help in my role as a member of the Health Subcommittee in Energy and Commerce. and to make sure I continue to serve. If I am called by the governor or by the President-elect Biden to serve in other capacities, then I will highly consider those opportunities to the best of the ability to serve the people that I ran for office to serve to begin with.
Okay, we'll leave that as a open-ended question then. Congressman, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.